God, that was so loud.
I know, right? Still cute though.
They are.
Hiya and welcome to our podcast. So I'm Dama.
And I'm Olivia, and we're the hosts of the podcast Panic and Me.
So today we're going to be talking about dealing with a mental health relapse.
Yep, so by that we basically mean when you've been doing, well with your mental health for a couple of years, a couple of months, even a couple of weeks, and you think you're making progress, and then kind of all of a sudden you find that you are doing a bit worse than before, and that can be really kind of disheartening. And I think it's something that we both have experienced. But before we go into that, we should probably talk about the guinea pigs and introduce them. So these are our co-stars today.
Co-stars? Yeah.
This is Posh.
This is Scruff.
And they are...
As you can see by the messy hair.
Yeah, he is looked after. He just always looks like that. He does get a haircut. But he's just a scruffy gerbil. Not gerbil, guinea pig.
She called you a gerbil. Can you believe that?
Insulting, aren't I? And yeah, we will apologise if they start squeaking or running around a bit. Hold him properly.
No, he's enjoying it. He's like, yeah.
But they should be. They're quite calm, and they like to come in and have a cuddle sometimes, and they're good for our mental health. So
yes,
I'm gonna put him down for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be in and out of this video, but So right, we should probably start by talking about times that we've experienced a mental health relapse.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I've experienced that, probably multiple times actually in my life where I've been doing really, really well. And then I start doing bad again. I think for me, it often goes with the seasons. So over the summer, I'll be feeling better. And then in the winter, I'll start feeling bad again. Or
the weather's gross.
Yeah. Or at difficult periods of my life. So when one massive trigger for me is moving. So like when I move house or something, I find that it causes me to have a lot of panic attacks, and I'll have to spend a number of days in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And those moments can be really, really hard because I think, oh, I've been working so hard, I've done so much therapy, and yet I am, going back into old ways, and I thought I was doing better. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to deal with that because for me it's something that I really struggle with. I have really struggled with. Mm-hmm. So have you experienced a mental health relapse before?
Yeah, so I know this is probably gonna alarm some viewers, or so there's a viewer discretion.
So this is a trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. So I used to cut myself 5 years ago, and then I had a relapse in 2020 of doing that again. So that was one major thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how did you feel when that happened, kind of afterwards? How did you feel towards yourself?
I felt like, I'm so stupid for doing it. I was doing so well. I kept putting myself down, like...
Scruff is making a run for it.
Putting myself down, like, I shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really tough, isn't it? Because kind of when I suggested this as a podcast topic, you kind of said, actually, how did I get through that? Because it was a really tricky time.
Yeah.
So a mental health relapse can be something like self-harming again, trigger warning, like if you're purging again. But it can just be, for me, it's often just an increase in my symptoms. It's not necessarily that I'm engaging in any behaviour. It can just be that you feel bad again. And it can be really, really hard because...
So how did you get over it?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is reach out for help. Tell people in your life, your friends, your family, your professionals in your life that you are experiencing a relapse. And for me, most recently, I went to my GP and I was put on antidepressants, as I said before. It was, acknowledging that I wasn't doing well again and I needed help again. one of my closest friends, bless him, spoke to me on the phone at like 2 a.m. And said, you need to go to your doctor. Then, I phoned NHS 111 option 2, which is the mental health, you just bit me, was the mental health, helpline. And they, helped me kind of talk through my issues, and then I went to the GP. So it's really, really important to reach out for help. And I mean, when you experienced your relapse, I know you spoke to me. Did you speak to anyone
I spoke
else?
to you, another friend as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you started engaging in therapy, self-referral therapy, when you recognised that there was something
that needs to be a
change.
turning point. Yeah. So there's one thing that you should know is you aren't starting from scratch.
Yes, that's massively important. So I think, like, for a big feeling for me, and I think maybe for you too, is that I feel like, I'm back to where I started, square one, and I am, I'm completely having to start all over again. Sorry, he's making loads of noise, he's just happy. But yeah, that's not true, because I still have all the coping mechanisms that I learned in therapy, that I learned from my self-help. And even if you haven't been to therapy and you've got better before, you must have done things to help yourself feel better. So it's important to, keep doing that. And to acknowledge that you have all of these coping skills. And even if it's just saying that you have got through it before, then that's okay.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of the sense that there's not going to be your whole life, every single day, that you're going to be happy. That's just not how it's going to be. Yeah. And it's okay to not have a great day. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fine to not be okay sometimes. Okay, so like, following on from kind of not starting from, like, that you're not starting from scratch, you have all of these coping skills. Even if you haven't been to therapy before, you have done things that make you feel better. And it's important to remember those and to do them. So, for me, that is to keep a gratitude journal, going for walks. I know that I enjoy, spending time video calling my friends. And that's something that I'm focusing a lot on at therapy at the moment. It's like, you already have the skills. Just do it.
Yeah, do
it before you feel better, and then you'll start to feel better. And I mean, what kind of coping skills do you use that?
I think similar to you, especially talking to people. What else? Yeah, trying to keep yourself busy. You can. Try to keep yourself busy and find the things that you love to do, and that's something that doesn't feel so much effort in doing. Yeah,
that's a big thing. It can just literally be, if all you can do one day is move from your bed to your sofa and put on Netflix, then that's better than laying in bed all day. So focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. And that, again, beautifully kind of moves on to our next point, which is, like, don't ask too much of yourself too soon. If you're having a relapse, it's hard. Your mental health is dipping again, life happens, and you need to be kind to yourself, and you need to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. And you need to kind of, in a way, you do need to go back to square one, but remember that it will take you a lot less time to gain recovery again, because you know what to do. It's just getting around to doing it.
Yeah. And our last point is, be kind to yourself.
Yes.
You're the only person that you have in this world, is yourself, to rely on for happiness, for anything. You can't rely on other people. So having yourself, loving yourself, being kind to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really important. We hope that our co-stars haven't been too loud for this podcast. We'll have to have a look and see if you guys can actually enjoy it. We might post it anyway because they're quite cute. But
bit of therapy with these.
A bit of animal therapy.
It's great.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.